Hi folks, well I'm out again. I really struggled to think where to go today. I was tempted to go to my local commercial, but with the bank holiday weekend approaching, it gets very busy and it's become very commercial. It's quite a big caravan site now, and they've not only got a cafe on the bank of the pit where I fish, but they've also established a bar now, so all a bit too busy for me. So I really struggled, so I decided to come down to Offord, and I thought I'd fish the car park pool. There are a couple of swims over on the sort of far side of the pool, which are sort of more or less static water, and I thought I'd bring a float rod and perhaps try for some roach. Maybe a tench may turn up, but probably not. Anyway, that was immediately seen to be a bad decision when I arrived, because the car park pool is absolutely smothered in weed. I've never seen anything like this. It's unbelievable. And when I started plumbing the depth in the spot where I was going to fish, it was about 10 foot deep, so it was a fantastic spot. But I nearly lost the plummet in the weed. You know, the surface was clear where I was plumbing, but underneath it was just thick weed. So I've moved to a spot sort of just on the access to the island, one sort of small island here, and it's just downstream of a little weir, so I'm hoping that may prove to be fruitful. But yeah, I think it may have been a wrong decision today, but we're going to try. At least I'm on. Well, there's one other angler here. He's not very happy because he was catching, but apparently the EA presumably have opened some sluices, and where he was fishing was clear when he arrived, and it's now covered in blanket weed. It's all been washed down because they've opened some sluices, and there's a lot in the car park pool as well, probably the same problem. So I would say only one other person here, very quiet, so I'm going to have a very peaceful day or a very peaceful session. Whether I catch anything remains to be seen, but I really didn't fancy a busy commercial, so really just got to see how it goes. Yeah, well, that's about it really, so I'll start fishing and we'll see what happens. Okay. Well folks, at last we're fishing. It's 20 past 10, I actually arrived here in the car just after 9, but with all the farting around and trying this place and that place, I sort of been an hour really deciding where to fish. I'll try a little bit of bread first and see what happens. I'm not incredibly hopeful. Oh, well, I think that was a bite, folks. The float just slid away. Oh well, that's promising. Must admit, I didn't expect that. Mind you, I didn't hook it, but let's try a smaller bit of red. Probably lots of small dace in here and small roach and that sort of thing. I'm afraid we're going to have the sound of this this small weir in the background. Oh, there's something. Well, we're getting bites. I'm going to say, if I'm getting bites, I'm not going to complain too much. I bought some sweetcorn as well. Let's try a bit of sweetcorn. Maybe a bit more acceptable to the tiddlers. They may not be tiddlers, of course. Just a single bit of sweetcorn. I haven't put any sweetcorn in. I've can't get the top on the thing. There we go. Yeah, I've put in a bit of hemp when I arrived, which is probably about 3/4 of an hour ago when I arrived at this spot, or perhaps half an hour ago. And I put some crumb bread in. I didn't put any sweet corn in, so let's just see what happens to me. Yeah, something playing with it, isn't it? I'm going to leave it a bit this time. Well, it could be worse spots to spend a few hours. Ah, it just disappeared completely. I'm sitting watching it. Yeah. Oh well. I think we're going to be challenged here today, folks. I think this is where a whip may work. As I don't possess a whip and I've never used a whip, that wasn't an option. Well, there's something down there. I would guess probably small roach. Now taking bread and sweet corn. Could even be minnows, I think. I may move this rod rest, it's in the way really. I've got to hold the rod anyway, so. There's definitely something playing, isn't there? Oh, we got it that time. Blimey, going absolutely mad. Yeah, it's a roachy. And a nice roachy as well. Oh, that can't be bad. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Well, you haven't done yourself any good at all, have you? Oh dear, oh dear. Let's wash you off, shall we? Oh, he's gone anyway. Anyway. There are roach down there, folks. What I might do is put my unhooking mat in front of me, so if we drop any more, well, they fall off the hook, which he did. He falls on a mat rather than on all this crap. Right, I'm going to move this rod rest because it's just in the way. I'll put a little bit more hemp in. A little bit more hemp in. Water's very clear when I was putting that roach back in, even though it's quite deep. Oh, I wasn't watching the float, I was pointing at the deep water. Yeah, even though the water's quite deep, I can see the bottom. Right. Well, we're getting bites, folks. It's just good news. I wasn't even sure that was going to happen. We're also very close to the railway line here, so you will hear trains flying past every so often. Yeah, there we go, I think. It's playing with it. There we go. Oops. Ah, it came off. Ah, that's not good news. Pulled him straight out of the water, that's the trouble. That's not good news, that probably spooked them. I think I may put a smaller hook on and a lighter end tackle, because I'm missing too many of these. Yeah, I may do that now. And I'll just sort of nick the small hook through the sweetcorn so they don't feel it. Yeah, we'll do that now, I think. It's just come up to 11 o'clock. I've only probably been fishing less than an hour. Yeah, I'm going to change the end tackle. I'll be back when I've done it. Right, I'm now on a 16 fine wire hook. Just snip the corn on the edge of it. It's a 3 pound line. So we are fishing somewhat lighter. And the wind seems to have dropped while I've been doing all that, which is good news. Stuck the hook in my finger while I was doing it, which was a bit painful. Right, let's see if this makes any difference. Yeah, here we go. God, how far go these roach, don't they? That's a nice fish. That is a very nice fish. Right, I'm going to get up and get lower to the ground because I managed to drop it last time. I don't want to do that again. Up, you see. Oh, you still got off the mat. You stupid bloody fish. Well, sorry about all the leaves and that, folks, but it was a bit lively. Right, let's put him back in. Let's get all the stuff off you, shall we? There, I've got a better look at him now, without all the leaves and debris. Yes, a nice fish. Oh, that's worth changing hooks, wasn't it? If we're going to hook the things. Oh, a bit more hemp. Alright, I'll go back on bread because I'm just conscious that the bites I was getting on bread earlier is when I had the depth wrong. So now I've got my depth sorted out, I've put the bread back on and see if something deeper down is interested in the bread. Yeah, something is interested deeper down. Another roach. Right, I'm going to hold you really tight because I've dropped your last two. Right, there we are, folks. I'm not going to release my grip on him because it's always a disaster. Let's put him back up here a bit. Well, that was good. Changed the bread straight away. Right, I just connected the power pack to my GoPro, which tells me I've probably recorded far too much video already. When you see a 20-minute, 30-minute video or whatever it is, it's only a fraction of what I take home on the camera. It's a challenge sometimes, well, it's always a challenge actually to edit it down to a sensible length, really. I think that was probably a bream breaking the surface while I was filming those ducks. I'm getting a bit of interest on bread, I'm back on bread. But they're not very positive bites. Ah, that went right under. How could I miss that? How the heck can you miss a bite like that? It just sunk. So much easier when this breeze isn't blowing. But there's something interesting, I think. I think I've only landed 2 or 3 roach, haven't I? I've only managed to get 2 or 3 in, I can't remember now. One came off, that's for definite. Yeah, I think I've had 3 on the bank, I think. It's not a big number to remember, is it? Yeah, I've had 3. Because 2 of them ended up on the deck because they wriggled out of my hand, but the third one I managed to hold on to. That might be something interesting. Float just lifted slightly. When the wind's blowing you can't see these small movements, but when it stops you get a bit of warning. When the wind's blowing the float often just disappears. And looking good. Yeah. Let's get you over here out the way of the other boys. Yeah, another nice roach. Another nice roach. Whoa. Taking it down a bit. Let me just go out more. It's the first one that's actually taken it down a bit. Oh, shot's gone up the line. Yeah, let's show you to the people. I'll show you to the people over the water, so if you fall in the water. Right, there he is. Another nice roachy. There you go. Certainly goes a bit quiet after you've landed a fish. I think it scatters the shoal for a while until they feel confident enough to come back together. These water boatmen down here, they've really been busy today. They're flitting around all the time down here. It's gone 2 o'clock, probably stay to about 3 o'clock. When I was sort of doing the intro, I was saying, thought I might have made the wrong decision coming here, having sort of not been able to fish the spot I was heading for, and thought perhaps I should have gone to a lake, but I'm pleased I came now because it's just so peaceful here. I mean, so there's another angler over the other side there, and there was one when I arrived, but he left before I really started fishing, and there was another guy, an angler, but he was just walking around, having a look around, and other than a few walkers sort of on the path to the left of me who really are out of sight almost. It's really lovely and peaceful. The only downside of these high-speed trains that keep going past behind me, one just went past. I'm not sure how much the mic's picking it up, but my ears are picking it up, so I guess the mic is. High-speed water boatmen there, don't they shift? Another train. It's funny, isn't it? I seem to get a couple of bites one after the other, and then it goes quiet. Perhaps go back on bread again. That seems to keep changing bait. Seems to help. There's one more cast with this bit of corn and. Sort of back to basics, this really, which is what I like really. Reminds me as a lad going fishing. Invariably we'd try to float fish wherever we were, even when it wasn't perhaps the most appropriate way of fishing. Didn't catch a lot, probably because of our limited sort of repertoire. I remember we fished this stretch in Reading. It was in the town, and it was, I think they called it the promenade stretch, and that's what it was. It was a park basically, and we were fishing off what was a footpath, or a park path if you like, next to the river. And when we first got there, of course, fairly early on, I was catching a few fish, and then when the world and his wife started walking through the park during the day, didn't catch any more. And of course the people who succeeded on that day were the people ledgering out in the middle for bream. No, it's gone very, very quiet on corn. Right. It's, oh, this bloody hook I keep catching in my finger. I think they're still down there. Just not feeding as well as they were earlier. Anyway, I'm not complaining. I had some nice roach and it's turned out really better than I expected it would. I was feeling a bit like I've made the wrong decision when I arrived this morning and looked at all that weed on the surface over there. No, it hasn't been too bad at all really. Quite enjoyed it. Challenged by the roach. I would have been much better off with my match rod there. Much better off. But there we go. Nah, it's really not happening, is it? Time to stop, I think. Seem to be fishing rivers, and this doesn't look like a river, it looks more like a lake, but it is it is part of the River Great Ouse. Yeah, it's the main river's behind me. I'm on sort of an island here, and this is definitely a river. But you never know what's going to turn up. I mean, so there are big carp in here. Not that I want big carp. I wouldn't even be able to land a small carp on the tackle I'm using at the moment. But there are tension here, and obviously there are roach, there are perch, pike, lots of bream. But the bream, I think you would need to be fishing out a bit. I'm not sure you would encourage bream to come under the rod top like this. But there are so many possibilities, you just don't know what you're going to catch, and that's what makes it so sort of interesting, really. Anyway, it's not really happening, is it? One more cast and call it a day, I think. No, it's definitely gone very quiet, other than the occasional blip. I don't know what those bubbles were earlier that were coming up, right around my float as well. I came here in the winter, and I came in the winter, and I was going to fish what they call the top stream, but the river was up and it looked too dangerous. I was sitting right near the edge of some very deep and quite frightening water, so I came down and fished in this pool. There wasn't the weed then, it had all been flushed through, and I saw some bubbles coming up, and I fished where the bubbles were and I caught a bream. So there we go. Anyway, this is getting more and more challenging. I'm not getting bites, so I think we'll call it a day. It's been very enjoyable. I don't do much roach fishing, so it's been quite a nice change, really. Yeah, there we go. Well, that's it folks, I quite enjoyed that, I hope you did. Yeah, I don't do a lot of roach fishing, and there was some good fish there, some quality fish there I thought. Obviously not up to some of the roach that we see caught, but for me that was a good session. So hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, so I'm on my way home now. Thanks as always for watching, and thank you for the likes and to the subscribers as always. I'm not sure where I'm going next time. I wasn't sure where I was coming today until sort of last knockings really. Yeah, difficult decisions at the moment with the rivers suffering a bit, and I'd rather fish a river, but the choices are a bit limited at the moment. Anyway, until the next time, I'll say bye for now and cheers.